Arts.
Spend more time doing what you'd like to do. Call Genesis Painting. We color your world.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
This is Fox Sports 1070 The Game, WTSO Madison. Available anywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. This is Talkin' Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. Talkin' Golf is brought to you by
American Family Insurance. Insure carefully and dream fearlessly. Oak Park Place, offering senior living options for the lifestyle you deserve, with amenities and services for a carefree, independent way of life. Cherokee Country Club, Madison's only private facility to offer an 18-hole golf course, indoor-outdoor tennis, pickleball, fitness center, outdoor pool, and 2 restaurants. And by Wisconsin.golf, covering the people, courses, tournaments, and golf issues in the Badger State and beyond.
Now, here are your co-hosts for Talkin' Golf, the former Wisconsin men's and women's golf coach and member of the Wisconsin Golf Hall of Fame, Dennis Tiziani, and longtime Wisconsin sportscaster, Paul Brown.
And we welcome you to Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani, Kevin Ryan, and Dave McCann. I'm Paul Brown, and another edition of Talking Golf here on the Golf Effect Radio Network. And tonight on our show, we're going to have a former Badger player that you had, an All Big Ten player. John Turcotte is going to be joining us. John is caddy on the PGA Tour and took the red-eye home from San Francisco last night. We're also going to have Steve Stricker on, who played at Harding Park in San Francisco in the PGA Championship. And Steve is also going to be headed to the senior PGA that's going to take place in Ohio this weekend. And Miller Brady is going to be on. That's a new name, and he replaces Greg McLaughlin as the guy in charge of the PGA Champions Tour. He'll be joining us tonight as well on the show. What do you think of Colin Morikawa after the weekend?
And wasn't that something? You know what was most impressive was how he conducted himself and articulating and talking and having complete control of himself after winning a major championship.
Yeah.
And he's 23 years old.
He's played in 29 events totally on the tour, and he's already won his first major, which is pretty amazing. I think Tiger Woods and Jack Nicklaus are the only other guys to do it that young.
Yeah, that's good. And he had the right flag behind his name.
And he also had
thought I'd get that in there.
You bet. And he also had a pretty impressive performance in certain situations, the chip in and then the drive on 16. You're going to see that highlight forever.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, it just made it look so easy. There's nothing to hit it to there. I mean, watch all those guys that are supposed to be the best in the world. They had a hard time getting on the green. This guy almost holed it. Holy man.
What do you think of Harding Park? There were players that were complaining about the traps. They were complaining about the rough, the fairways at its widest point in some cases, like 25 yards and that kind of thing. Overall, seriously, what do you...
I thought it was great.
Did you?
Well, sure. When 12 under? 13 under.
Yeah. 13
under wins the tournament, and he wins by 2 shots. That's the way tournaments used to be. But when you're driving it, 340, 330, 350, all the long ball hitters again, hitting it down there far enough that the rough didn't make any difference how deep it was, because they're hitting small clubs, wedges and stuff into it.
So is that a disadvantage to the guys that aren't the power hitters?
Absolutely.
That's what it's turning into.
I mean, they don't, if they'd missed the fairway and now they're hitting a 5 or 6 iron instead of an 8 or 9, it's a huge difference in holding the greens. You see how those greens were not that receptive. I mean, they got the pins. I think they had the pins in the bunkers in some places. They were the green superintendent missed the green a couple of times. But to go ahead to say, actually, the best bunker that you can play out of, right?
Yeah.
And this is a proven thing. They have a bunker where they put about a half inch of real coarse, real fine gravel.
Okay.
And it's the best bunker to hit out of. So a hard bunker is not a hard thing to hit off of, because you can control that bottom.
It is for some people.
Well, yeah, if those guys who want to complain, they should practice more or something. I don't know.
We'll be back with Steve Stricker after this timeout on the Golf Connect Radio Network.
3, 2, 1. Grab your phone because now is your chance to win $1,000. Text the keyword WIN to 200-200. You'll get a confirmation text and info. Standard data and message rates apply in this nationwide contest. That's WIN to 200-200.
American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new personal auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that your dreams mean the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
A cherished family visit looks different today at Oak Park Place, but the feelings of love and support haven't changed. The focus is always on resident health and safety. Thank you to the families for finding unique ways during difficult times to connect with loved ones while maintaining physical distance. A wave and a smile from outside, a yard sign with a special message. All the
All right, I've got him, Dave.
The Tacoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
4.
Wow, you're terrible at golf. Who taught you?
I Googled it.
You need to meet with Tiz.
What's a Tiz?
Dennis Tiziani, Wisconsin Golf Hall of Famer. He has over 50 years of playing and teaching experience with a ridiculous list of championships and champions. Maybe you could be his next protege.
Where can I find him?
At the golf range at Cherokee Country Club.
Well, what if I'm not a member at Cherokee Country Club?
Well, the golf range is open to the public, but have you ever thought about becoming a member? They have a new membership program where you can pay for what you play, whether you play once a week, once a month, or just want an unlimited option.
Wow, sounds like an ace in the hole. Where do I sign up?
Just call me, Kristen the Piston, at 608-241-8788, and I'll get you all teed up.
Cherokee Country Club is the only club in Madison to offer indoor and outdoor tennis, swimming pool, and social individual, family, and junior memberships. Call Kristen today at 608-241-8788. Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
And we're back on the Talking Golf Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and it's a pleasure to have Steve Stricker with us now. Steve, before we talk about your performance in the PGA and a look ahead to this weekend, Colin Morikawa was talking on Twitter about practice round he played with a couple of guys on Wednesday, and those guys were Davis Love III and yourself. And he said, I was really impressed with Steve's knowledge and the way he talked about putting and chipping. You want to relate any of that little practice round and conversation from Wednesday?
Boy.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I was playing with him to see if I could learn anything. That's what I think. The kid is first of all, I reached out to him a while back, and I just wanted to get to know him. I have watched him, on TV just like everybody else, and has admired his good play. And I hadn't really met him. I maybe said hi to him in passing or whatever, but I hadn't really got to know him. And I'm thinking to myself, well, this kid could definitely be on the Ryder Cup team this next year, and I better get to know him. So I reached out to him a while back, and I said, I'd love to meet you. I called him on the phone, talked to him on the phone for a little while, and just seems like a wonderful kid. And I said, we should play a practice round sometime. So we missed each other at the Memorial, but then I said, well, let's try the PGA Championship. So we finally hooked up and got to play with him and talked, and just to get to know him, and just, have a feeling that he's going to be around many of these teams going forward, and I wanted to get to know him. And so we went out and played, and just a wonderful kid and a lot of talent. I mean, he's just got a really good, I think he navigates himself really well around the golf course, and he plays like a veteran out there. It looks like, you know, he plays all the percentages. It looks like the right shots, and hits clutch shots and makes clutch putts when he has to. So it was cool to see and cool to get to play with him.
He really is looking like a total package, isn't he? You talk about his skills. The thing that I was impressed with, too, is he was well-spoken. He's friendly and outgoing. He's got a great personality. And the way he conducts himself off the golf course, for a guy his age, that seems pretty special, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what I mean by, I guess I have a feeling that he's older than what his age is. You know, I mean, he's just he handles himself really nicely, and just a delight to be around. And like I said, on the golf course, I think he plays much older than his age. You know, some of these kids, when they first come out of school, you know, they play pretty recklessly. And I remember coming out of school, I did the same thing. I was a reckless player. You know, I just didn't take care of the ball very well. And you learn that very quickly on tour. If you're going to maximize, you know, your potential and everything, you just have to play the smart shots and be cautious and know when to take a chance and advantage of your, of the things that you know you can do well. You got to take advantage of those situations. And, you know, when you first come out of school, you kind of are reckless, but he's not that way at all. I mean, like I said, he just is very smart. He's very calculated. It looks like in his decision and shot making, and it's been impressive, you know. And the word's out, you know. It was out before he won, but now, you know, everybody knows about him. But, you know, guys would talk amongst themselves, and you know, he's the real deal. He's got everything.
How would you describe Harding Park and the play you had there this past weekend, Steve?
You know, when I first went around there, talked to Mario, my brother-in-law, and caddy, and I said, you know, I'd take 4 under, and you know, that might be good enough to win the tournament, you know. And I thought it was extremely hard. I'm wheeling in, you know, a couple more clubs than what these guys are hitting, you know, and it was hard for me to get the ball close. I hit a lot of greens in regulation. I think I hit like 75% of the greens in reg, but just was hard to get it close. And I putted awful, didn't make a putt when I did have a nice birdie look. And the rough was up. If you didn't drive it in the fairway or the first cut, it was for me hard to even sniff getting it on the green. So these guys were, when I watched it yesterday, they were pretty impressive. You know, there wasn't a lot of bogeys being made. They played great. No really tight collars going on there. And I kind of attribute that to no fans. You know, I don't know if the scoring would be that good, and if that many guys would have had the opportunity to win if there was fans involved. The fans have such a unique way of bringing enormity to an event. You know, you're playing for something special when there's 30,000 people there, like there would have been at the PGA Championship. But I just have a feeling like we saw something different because there was no fans, and there was really no choking, lack of a better word, going on. And everybody was playing great. And I think just the atmosphere lent itself to that. And it was kind of weird in a way, but it was also kind of fun watching all that great play down the stretch and guys trying to win.
Yeah, you look at the leaderboard at one point, and you had 7 people at 10 under par, and you go, are you kidding me? It was fun to watch. Now you're moving on this weekend. We've won 5 times on the Champions Tour, including 2 senior majors, and back in 2019, won the U.S. Senior Open by a record of 19 under. You're headed to Firestone this week. That's a place you've played, 10, 11, 12 times over your career?
Yeah. played it a bunch over my career. Played it last year in the Senior Bridgestone Seniors and or Senior Bridgestone Players Championship, and had a chance to win there and just didn't really finish it off. So hopefully get back and play well. And my game's kind of trending. It's I'm excited to play, and excited to go there and play. So hopefully put together 4 good rounds and have an opportunity to win.
How you're playing and how you're trending with your game versus the Bridgestone course. How do they match up? Could you give us kind of a little summary of Bridgestone?
Yeah, Firestone is it's a big course. It was one of the bigger courses when I first got on tour. It's kind of average length now just because of, the equipment and the ball going so far. But it's a major championship course, very difficult. They won't have the rough as hard as what I just played at Harding Park, but it'll be a tough setup. And I think like 6 under won there last year, so not a lot under wins there. And I enjoy the course. It's hard, and you got to take care of your ball there too. And it's a fun course to play, and it suits my game. I've had some good tournaments there over the years, some top 5 finishes on the regular tour there, and it's a course when you shoot a couple under par, you've done well.
And they got 7 World Golf of Fame members that are awfully strong field for that event, is it not?
Yeah, and they, every year it seems to be getting a little stronger out there, because I'm, it's getting harder for me. I'm going the other way, and then the guys that are coming out there are fired up and younger, and but it's still fun to be a part of it, and the fields are getting better. Phil has turned 50. He's been talking about playing a few events out there in the Champions Tour. Furyk just won out there. Mike Weir's turned 50. KJ Choi. There's some good young, well, I'm going to call them young players out there, and it's getting harder and harder all the time, but it's still fun to go out there and see everybody and compete against the guys that spent my whole career competing against.
Yeah, Steve, you better watch out for that left-hander. Those guys are tough, that Mike Weir.
Oh, yeah. Left-handers and left-handers.
Are the rules and regulations, so to speak, the same for the COVID and how everybody's dealing with the situation? I would assume the protocols and stuff are the same on the Champions Tour, correct?
Yeah, it's all the same. We get in there. We're going to get in there tomorrow, and then we have to get tested. We go to a testing facility, literally set up out in a parking lot somewhere close to the golf course, and we get tested, a nasal swab test, and then we wait around really until we get the test back. Can't go on course or on site at all until we get a negative result. And once we get that negative result, then we're free to go out to the course and register and practice and play. But it's been good. Knock on wood. I think the tour has done a great job and, taking care of all of us. And the protocols have been, put in place, and they've been followed. The guys, I can say, for the most part, have really taken this very seriously. We're all wearing masks around each other. Not a lot of, congregating, standing around together. Guys want to play, and they know if they stay safe and stay COVID free that we'll have the opportunity to play. So guys are taking it seriously and following all the rules.
Well, the best of luck to you, Steve. Hopefully number 6 on the Champions Tour is right around the corner, and that third senior major would look pretty nice. All the best to you this weekend.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
We'll be back after this timeout on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
Now that's a parking spot.
Introducing the I may have underestimated the size of my car policy with accident forgiveness from American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly. Get a quote. Find an agent. Visit amfam.com.
Optional policy features not included in base policies. Review policy for coverages and exclusions. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Dave Gary with the Princeton Clubs. A great round of golf requires the right club at the right time. Here in Wisconsin, the Princeton Club is the right club at the right time. If you want to improve your game, give us a call for custom golf fitness programs. We work with all types of golfers to increase flexibility, core strength, stamina, and overall fitness.
We're committed to excellence, the Princeton Club.
For more information, go to princetonclub.net.
This is Gary D'Amato with Killarney Golf Media. Check out our coverage of golf in Wisconsin and beyond on wisconsin.golf. We cover people, courses, tournaments, issues, and trends. Anything and everything that impacts golf in our state. And keep listening to the Golf Effect.
I got him right now, Dave.
Great guests. Between wisconsin.golf and the Golf Effect, we've got you covered.
Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions. The University of Wisconsin golf course, University Ridge, is open for play and awaiting your arrival. The Robert Trent Jones Jr. design, University Ridge, is now offering 18-hole walking green fees for as low as $46 plus tax any Monday through Thursday. This 18-hole rate won't last long, so visit universityridge.com or call 608-845-7000 to reserve your tee time. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
The golf season is in full swing, and so is Nevada Bob's. No more curbside deliveries or drop-offs. You get the full in-store service from Joel and his staff. New or used clubs, they got them. Putters, balls, shoes, hats, and apparel for men, women, and kids. Nevada Bob's has you covered. Replace those old grips with new ones. Get a new bag or a high-tech pull cart. Top flight service with a smile. It's like Joel says,
your game, your store, Nevada Bob's, always at the best price.
And we're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is John Turcotte, who's no stranger to people in Madison that follow golf. And you've certainly got a history with John. He played for you as you were coach of the Badger men's team a few years back, we'll put it that way, right. And all Big Ten player. Before we go to John, what do you remember about his?
Well, first of all, he played for Wisconsin. You know, he was, but he's a very good player. It surprises me. It surprised me a little bit, and I know him maybe too, that he didn't continue playing a little bit. He had all the stuff, you know, to do it. But I remember him as being a good player. I mean, he didn't finish very high in his senior year in the Big Ten, but still was voted to the first team All Big Ten team. So it was not only me that was impressed with him, it was other coaches that were voting to make him happen. And, you know, just a guy that you like to have on your team. He certainly was a leader in his own way. But you know, I thought maybe that guy he's caddying for should be caddying for him.
Sep?
I knew that would get you. You were sleeping for a while.
No. I did have a little snooze this afternoon.
I figured.
Those red eyes are no joke.
What about this guy? I know it. What about this guy that you caddy for? He seems to be pretty good. He's showing up all the time.
You know what? He's getting better.
Yeah.
He's getting better. I've seen it. I've caddied for him now for 2 years. And it's been a little bit of a process, but he's learning and he's getting older. He's kind of a late bloomer.
Yeah.
His brother, he's got a twin brother that he went to college with, and it was kind of a package deal when recruiting him and his brother. His brother was better than he is.
Oh.
He hits it 30 by him.
Where does he go to school?
You know,
Where did he go to school?
The Bulldogs, Georgia.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
And, yeah, so it was a package deal recruiting him, and he had the yips in college, chipping yips, just trying to hit the green, you know, chipping around the green. And he redshirted his third year, and all of a sudden he started to figure it out.
Yeah. Does he rely on you a lot? Does he rely on you a lot? I mean, you know, I worry about your addition, but that's why I asked the question, you know. I mean, do you add for him? Or does he add for himself?
You know, I think I'm just Mr. Reliable guy out there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't necessarily, I like, you know, I understand what it is to be a player. Right. You know, I know caddies can,
caddies can keep the wrong club out of your hand.
Right.
And that's pretty much what I'm trying to do with him,
Yeah.
keep the wrong club out of his hand.
Do you see Austin
And,
out there?
if I can help him a shot or a half shot a tournament, that'd be pretty good.
You see Austin out
You
there?
know?
Austin Goggert, do you see him?
Oh yeah, both Goggerts are out there caddying now.
Yeah, Austin. I know he's caddying for what's it, Noren?
Alex Noren,
Alex
and
Noren,
then the
yeah.
other guy is Van Rooyen.
Yeah.
Van Rooyen.
Yeah, this Alex Noren, he just made a couple of comments about what did I just say? With Goggert, and he said, he's on time. He's got something to drink, something to eat. He's got everything ready to go. Man, this is easy. He says, all I got to do is make birdies. I said, all right.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's one of the things I do. Sit here and look at, these morning tablets. A lot of when it was so hot, drinking just water, it doesn't cut it out there.
No.
So I buy these tablets at Target. They won't fail a drug test when they take them. Don't worry.
Okay, now what about this third kid coming?
Tomorrow?
Is that what it is? Is tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Holy
the next day,
man! He called me the other day. I said, "But John, do you know what caused that?" Yeah, he says, I was home 3 times in 3 years. He said, I was home. He's got his third. He's got his third kid coming.
Fun.
It's fun. That's right. How about the oldest one is now? What, about 4, 5, 4?
No.
The oldest one.
11. She's going to raise this
Oh,
child.
that's right, too. 11. Well, you all punted your coverage when you got this girl anyway. So.
Yeah. Of course, we all try to do that. We all strive to do that, didn't we, Tiz?
Yeah, didn't we,
Cool.
Tiz? Yeah, right. You're giving me that stuff. That's the way to go.
Right.
We're chatting with John Turcotte, who's from Madison and is a full-time caddy on the PGA Tour. John, when you're out there, what's the environment like for the caddies with all of the COVID and the restrictions and no fans and all of that going on? How does it feel, or how can you relate the experience and what you and the other people involved as caddies are going through?
To tell you the truth, it's pretty nice. Other than, it's nice to have the fans out there. I love hearing the roars and stuff. It's all part of it. But, we park in the players' parking lot now. Now we're eating inside, going in the clubhouse.
Oh, big shot.
You just got to have your mask on, and the food's pretty good. We're getting our nasal swabbed every Monday.
Oh, yeah.
Get the brain tickle there for about 6 seconds, and it's all right. It's all right. We can get by that. But, we miss the fans, though, really. It's all, it's just a little quiet out there. It doesn't quite have the buzz. Like a Sunday late afternoon would. I guess it kind of lessens the choke factor, I believe.
That's funny. Steve said the same thing. Steve said the same thing just a little while ago. How about that guy who used to caddy for? What was his name? Big guy. Who was the guy before this guy?
John Ha was the
That's
Korean.
the guy,
Spencer Levine.
Yeah, but
or Matt Every.
Yeah, but John Huff, that's the guy I was thinking about. I
Yeah,
see
the
his name
Korean
every
kid.
once in a while yet.
Yeah, he hasn't. He's on a medical of some kind.
He is now?
Well, he should have got better during the COVID thing. I thought he would have gotten better by then. I don't know.
But he didn't get better. Well, I think you got a good
He
guy
didn't get
now.
better.
You got a good guy now that you can
He's
caddy
an
for.
ace, man. He's super good dude.
How do you look
And,
how do you look at your role, John, as a caddy in terms of who you're working with? What do you feel your key What do you feel your key responsibilities or approach is with that individual?
Well, you got to show up, be on time, make sure there's something to eat and something to drink. That's it.
Like Dennis said,
I've got to
put up,
That's
keep up,
it.
and shut up.
That's exactly right, man. I know when you don't want to have something said to you, and you don't need a pump up. These guys got enough going on. You don't need to, you just, apologize. Got the wind wrong there, and then I apologize sometimes just to apologize. Yeah, right. And this guy will be like, "No, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. I was a terrible shot. This guy will pull the thumb and not point the finger. Unlike, some guys, that have been in this business before.
Boy.
John, when you look back in your career at Wisconsin and being involved with the coach here, got any fond memories or any stories that you can tell on the air?
No, I remember driving to that NCAA regional down in Arkansas. Wasn't that this?
And then what are you going to say about the white sign? You mean?
No.
Oh,
no. Then we took the white van.
Oh,
we drove the white van down there. I just remember that.
Huh?
And the other thing, actually, I don't know if I can share that. We had a good time. Hanging out with Tiz. Those were, some of the best times of my life. Was in college. It's big learning curve. I guess if I went back, I would definitely treat it more as a job. The academic side of it all. It's easy to get distracted in college, though, and you got to learn from your mistakes, right?
That's it.
And as long as you learn, then we can move forward. So,
John,
we had a good time, though, didn't we, Tiz?
Not meant in a negative way. Did you ever think about trying to play on the tour? Did you make that effort?
No, yeah, I played for, let's see, till I was 30 years old. I played on the Canadian tour for 3 years. Played on the web for like 2.5. It was hard, man. It was really hard I got sick of blaming painful things on my wrists. I think I don't have good genetics. There's my final answer.
That's your final answer. Yeah.
That's it. Right, Tiz?
I know, but you see, he went right to food and drinking.
Yeah, food and drinking.
He's got his priorities straight.
That's right. He's okay now.
Good time.
He's okay now.
Yeah.
Well, he's got three nice kids now, and he's got a life. It's kind
tomorrow.
of
I don't know what it'll be, Tiz. We don't know what it's going to be.
Oh boy,
it should be quite.
But you have
surprise.
one. You got one girl. The oldest one is a girl.
Yep, 11.
Yeah.
7-year-old Frank.
Yeah. And this one here.
And I don't know.
Might be twins.
I don't know about this next one.
Might be twins.
We'll see.
Might be twins, John. That got him.
That made him speechless. That one made him
I guess
speechless.
I got to quit my job then. or she's got to quit hers. One or the
Yeah,
other.
right. No. She's got to keep working.
Well, we wish
That's right.
we wish you all the best, John, and good
Hey,
luck.
thanks, guys.
Yeah, I'll talk to you in a little bit.
Take care.
All
We'll
right.
be
All right,
back
sounds good.
after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network. A cherished family visit looks different today at Oak Park Place, but the feelings of love and support haven't changed. The focus is always on resident health and safety. Thank you to the families for finding unique ways during difficult times to connect with loved ones while maintaining physical distance. A wave and a smile from outside, a yard sign with a special message, all to bring joy to the residents. They have locations on Madison's east side in the Nakoma neighborhood, Janesville, Baraboo, Oak Creek, and Wauwatosa. Visit oakparkplace.com.
Play the best kept secret in Wisconsin golf, Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells. This Herdston and Pride design not only features stunning views from elevated tee boxes, but it also showcases the natural beauty of the surrounding area that will dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike many places you played before. A true test of golf for players of all skill levels. Book your tee time online today and see what you've been missing at wildrockgolf.com. That's wildrockgolf.com.
Hi, this is Dave Gary with the Princeton Clubs. A great round of golf requires the right club at the right time. Here in Wisconsin, the Princeton Club is the right club at the right time. If you want to improve your
He's ready to go, Dave.
We work with all types of golfers to increase flexibility, core strength, stamina, and overall fitness.
We're committed to excellence, the Princeton Club.
For more information, go to princetonclub.net.
Why drive an ordinary car when for the same monthly payment, you could be driving something extraordinary? Aaron Perkins, General Manager, Zimbrick European. Imagine yourself behind the wheel of a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche. More safety, performance, and luxury, and way more fun. And getting more costs less than you think. Zimbrick European makes leasing affordable. Discover the value for yourself. Stop in and test drive a Mercedes-Benz, Audi, or Porsche today. Visit Zimbrick European and find out why leasing the car of your dreams makes so much sense.
Hey, Lauren, you ready for things to get back to normal yet?
Yeah, I really am. I really miss hanging out with my friends and family, going out to eat, and sporting events.
You should check out Cherokee Country Club this year. You can enjoy sports at a safe distance with our golf range, indoor-outdoor tennis, swimming, and beautiful 18-hole golf course. Also, our sports lounge is open to the public. Have you tried their Friday night fish fry?
No, I haven't. I think that's something my
10
family and I can
seconds.
really enjoy. I'm going to tell my friends about it. Where can we sign up?
Call me, Kristen, at 608-241-8788.
Cherokee Country Club. Pay for what you play.
And we're back on Talking Golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network. We're from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Dennis Tiziani. I'm Paul Brown, and joining us now is Miller Brady. Miller is in charge of the PGA Tour Champions and Champions Tour. And Miller, welcome to the program. I know you had some background working for the PGA with Tim Fincham and Greg McLaughlin. That kind of gave you a nice background and variety of experiences that I'm sure proved very valuable, correct?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on. But yeah, no, you're right. I was fortunate to work in the marketing department, PGA Tour, when I first started. And then for Commissioner Fincham, during the time when he developed the FedEx Cup and the playoffs. So it was invaluable experience for me.
And that solid background gives you an understanding, obviously, of how the PGA works and the Champions Tour. And let's talk a little bit, Miller, about the current situation that the Champions Tour, which has been off a longer period of time than the regular tour has been. How is the tour dealing with overall? It looks like Steve Stricker just said a little while ago, everything seems to be working fine. Players are getting used to it. The protocols are in place. Let's start with, I assume that's going to be the same on the Champions Tour, right?
For the most part, it's almost identical. You know, we're very fortunate on our tour that we had the ability to watch the PGA Tour come back first. And we learned a lot from their protocols, their safety measures, which was great for us. And so we started back 2 weeks ago at the Ally Challenge, which was tremendous for us. We clearly, tested all of our players, all of our caddies, really everybody that's inside the bubble, which has really become the new normal for the world. And then we played a Pro-Am, and we felt like we needed to play a Pro-Am in order to provide value for our sponsors, and our players embraced it. We tested all the amateurs that played in the Pro-Am, and it turned out to be a great experience. And we're doing the same thing this week when we play the Bridgestone Senior Players Championship at Firestone, which is, as you know, a fantastic golf course.
And in terms of why did you start a little later than the regular PGA Tour? What was the logic in that decision there of not starting at the same time?
Yeah, part of it was just by happenstance, meaning we were scheduled to play during the restart of the PGA Tour. We were scheduled to play the U.S. Senior Open as well as the Senior British Open, which both of those were canceled. And we were not able to, find replacement events for those. And we work with every single tournament, host organization, and title sponsor a little differently in their local communities. And so it just happened that, we came back 6 or 7 weeks after the PGA Tour. And like I said, I'm actually, I think we were fortunate so we could learn from how they were operating.
What did you learn by watching?
Well, we learned a lot of the protocols on testing. We learned when there is a positive test, the contact tracing elements associated with it. We also learned what the players and caddies should and shouldn't be doing on a day-to-day basis. So, there was a 30 to 40 page safety protocol document that I knew was going to change over time. So I waited to present that to our players, our pack, until we got a little bit closer to our first event. And it seemed to work out pretty well for us. And we continue to hammer home doing the right things, which means even if the restaurants are open in the local community where we play, we're asking the players to get to-go food and take it back to your hotel to really, keep ourselves in a bubble as much as we can. We know it's hard. It's different, but, so far, our guys are so thrilled and happy to be back playing, which we are too, that it's a nice little fraternity out there.
We're chatting with Miller Brady. And Miller, when you look at the sport of golf and everything else that's going on with all of the other sports and the uncertainty of situations that are developing, even with, for an example, college football and all of those kind of things,
Sure.
Golf is really in a unique position, is it not, in terms of because of what they're doing, because of the sport, that they can become an example and at least have an outlet for people to enjoy the sport and watch it on TV.
Oh my gosh, Paul, you're exactly right. I can't tell you how many people reach out and say thank you that the PGA Tour champions are back playing golf so that they have something to look forward to on the weekend. Who knows where we're headed with whether it's the NFL or college football. But I think we've proven that we can play and we can do it in a very safe manner week to week. And I think it's great for our sport, and it shows the professionalism that our players have.
Mm-hmm. As you look ahead now and taking over, what are, if any, new innovations or changes you would like to see on the Champions Tour?
Well, I've been fortunate to have worked on this tour for a good number of years, 10 plus years. And I think that, what we've seen a little bit is this tour has become a very competitive tour, as I know Steve Stricker probably alludes to. One thing that I would like to see is that as we transition to our new television contracts in 2022, I'm open to doing some things a little different, which means, if we're miking up more players on a regular basis, I think that's great. If we're doing a little bit more storytelling about our players and their history, whether it's the Hall of Fame guys, they have such great history that I think we need to do a little bit better job of telling a story during the telecast.
For example, in this weekend's tournament, there are 7 World Golf of Fame members playing in the tournament. There are 9 players who have won on the seniors event. And now you're getting first-timers like KJ Choi. Cabrera is there. You've got Mike Weir. Jim Furyk just won his first. Steve said Mickelson is toying with the idea of playing a couple on the Champions Tour and that type of thing.
Yeah.
And the top 36 players from the previous year Charles Schwab Cup. That's a pretty impressive field coming up for this weekend.
Yeah, you said it right. When you look week in and week out, the number of Hall of Fame players that are out there, the competitiveness of this tour is really amazing. There's a lot of folks that think that we play 6,500-yard golf courses, and clearly not true, as Steve could tell everybody. Averaging over 7,000 yards per week. And Firestone this week it was a tough test for the regular tour, and even a tougher test for our players. So it'll show great as a major.
And of course, you're familiar with the AmFam Championship that takes place annually here in Madison. And unfortunately, that, along with other tournaments, got canceled. But from the tour's perspective, the Champions Tour, what's your thoughts on the AmFam Championship? It certainly seems like it's developing into one of the premier events on the senior tour.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's developing. I would say that it's right there as one of the premier events. And a lot of that has to do with how, Steve and Nikki have embraced the event, as well as AmFam. I mean, the executive team at AmFam wants this event to be one of the best events, if not the best event on tour every single year. And that's by every measurement possible. You think about the fact that this event's raised, I believe I say this right, $10 million since its inception for charity, is amazing. And that's one of the reasons why we play the tournament. But the number of spectators that come out to that event is what players thrive. They love playing in front of large galleries, and Madison brings that. The AmFam Championship, I can't say enough good things about how great it is. The players love it. And those players that are just turning 50, they hear from everybody else how great the tournament is, and they want to make sure they play it.
So maybe Phil Mickelson will show up sometime, huh? Could you take that on, Miller, as a possibility to get him to come, or maybe we need to talk to Steve about that one, huh?
How about both Steve and I will get after it with Phil on that one?
There you go.
Dennis, you obviously have been
You too,
involved.
Dennis.
Yeah, right. Well, he's going to play right-handed.
Why would he want to do that?
Because left hand doesn't get it.
So, yes, it does. No. But
right-handed.
But when you think about it too, Tiz, I mean, from the inception of the conceptually, when the idea came up of the tournament here to what it is today, it is really, truly phenomenal.
Well, you hit it right on the head. There's so much going on in the background. AmFam is behind this tournament. Their whole company is behind this. So when you talk about their marketing people and every attention to detail, some of the people obviously I know very well that are doing some of that, they're right. They just want to make this the best tournament going. And Steve, like you say, Steve and Nikki are in behind. It's a good leader, but it's successful. Totally, the tour does a good job, but Jack Salzwedel is the CEO of that organization. He has a great staff around him, many of whom are members here. And, they just, this is just number one for them, and they just won't let it go. And marketing all the way down the line. Now, I talk to them when they come over here, and it's not just getting prepared for the week. This is a year-long thing. As soon as this tournament is done, they're ready to go again. And as far as support goes, from a standpoint of charities, second to none. Look at what they did this year. They went ahead and didn't have the tournament and still gave the same amount of money, $2.5 million bucks, to every charity that participated last year, that got money last year. That's how well they feel about this tournament.
And Miller, obviously, you're not totally sure at this point because no one knows what our world's going to look like, but I'm sure you're hoping that you can get back to a regular schedule of events and get all the schedules straightened out for next year, huh?
Well, we are. Let me first say that, we touch on everybody involved in that tournament. I think that our Jim Buheim and Nate Pokras wake up every single day thinking about how to make that tournament bigger and better. And they do that on a year-round basis, Dennis, like you said. But yeah, as far as next year is concerned, we're planning like it's going to be a regular year because we have to. We're not sure, but the schedule is going to be very similar to this year, albeit we combined and are doing a wraparound season because we needed to accomplish that for the pandemic. But yeah, we're hoping that we're able to move forward and come out and have a regular season next year.
Perfect.
Any final thoughts that you want to pass along to the golfers in the state of Wisconsin about the Champions Tour, or maybe something they don't realize?
Well, look, I'm biased, but I think that this tour has amazing golfers that put on a great show week in and week out, whether it's in the Pro-Am or the competition itself. When you think about how well they play, how low they shoot on hard golf courses, it's awesome. And I couldn't be more proud of our guys and what they do. The likes of Steve Stricker, who, took on to help his own event here. And we have Jim Furyk, who just won. He's doing his own event next year. It's a great model. And at the end of the day, it's raising significant amounts of money for charity in all the communities. And that's what I'm most proud about.
Right.
Miller, thank you for your time and all the best, and good luck in your new role. We appreciate your time on the air here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
Take care.
Miller. Thanks, Miller.
That's Miller Brady, the new person in charge of the PGA Tour Champions. And
It's an uptick, Not that the guy there was bad, but this guy is in it. I mean,
he's got the solid background and the experience with Fincham, and
he's in it for the long haul. This guy, he is going to make it continually get better. So it's impressive. I knew him from before, and it's a good move. What happened with that senior tour, and just think, in 7 years, it's going to happen in 7 years.
7 years from now,
Tiger's 43.
You think, well, that would be interesting. That would be interesting.
No,
that somebody knows him pretty well.
Oh yeah, he'll stay here with us.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. But we tried to get him to come hunting, with us.
We're talking about Tiger and Steve, of course.
Yeah, we're trying to get him. Tiger. He said, no. He says, I am not getting in a tree with you guys. He says,
smart man.
He's a good boy. He's a good boy, though.
We'll be back after this time out on the Golf Effect Radio Network. Sculpted by glaciers, played by champions. The University of Wisconsin Golf Course, University Ridge, is open for play and awaiting your arrival. The Robert Trent Jones Jr. design University Ridge is now offering 18-hole walking green fees for as low as $46 plus tax any Monday through Thursday. This 18-hole rate won't last long, so visit universityridge.com or call 608-845-7000 to reserve your tee time. Play where the Badgers and the pros play. University Ridge.
American Family Insurance is returning $425 million to our customers. This includes a 10% savings for all current and new personal auto customers for the rest of the year. We hope this does your world some good and reminds you that your dreams mean the world to us. Contact your agent or go to amfam.com to learn about more ways to save. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Play the best kept secret in Wisconsin golf. Wild Rock Golf Club in Wisconsin Dells. This Herdston and Pride design not only features stunning views from elevated tee boxes, but it also showcases the natural beauty of the surrounding area that will dazzle your senses. Secluded and sheltered from the outside world, Wild Rock is unlike many places you played before. A true.
Hey, Dave, according to my math, if you trust it, you should have about 6:33 for this segment.
On behalf of Dennis Tiziani and myself, we would like to thank American Family Insurance Company and the Stricker Foundation for allowing us to help them raise money for the Birdies for Health campaign during the last two American Family Insurance Championship tournaments. Because of their backing and our efforts of promoting the Birdies for Health campaign, we were able to raise more than $120,000 for Alzheimer's research at UW Hospital.
Right,
obviously, that successful effort would never have happened without the very generous support of people in the Badger State and around the country. Not only are we very grateful for the support, but you should know that 100% of the money raised for research went to the Alzheimer's and Dementia Research Center at UW Hospital. Even though the American Family Insurance Championship won't be held this summer, we will look forward to next year's tournament, where we, along with your help, will continue the fight to find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Talking golf on the Golf Effect Radio Network from Cherokee Country Club in Madison, along with Paul Brown, me, Dennis Tiziani, Dave McCann, and Kevin Ryan. I tell you what, Tiz is talking through the commercials. Folks, you wouldn't believe what goes on around here, not on the air, but between on air when we're in commercial breaks. Anyway, so
when we get visitors, when we're allowed to have them, they can come here and enjoy the after show or during show.
It would be unique, wouldn't it, guys? Yeah. Let's talk a little golf instruction here for a couple of minutes.
Okay.
When you talk, people talk tempo in golf.
Mm-hmm.
People may not understand. What is tempo? Why is it important? What does it mean?
Well, just tempo the way you rhythm, tempo, rhythm is above the waist, power is below the waist. And normally when you have a bad tempo, your upper core moves way too fast, and that's where you try to get, speed, but not getting it from the bottom. There's a real good thing. You can use a thing, and I use this all the time. You can use it putting, you can use it chipping, you can use it hitting. It's 1, 2. Hit the ball on 2.
Just mean
1, 2.
Boom.
Right. Rather than 1 and then something happens, So use that as rhythm, and that's the deal there. Nobody's ever swung the club too slow. I don't know anybody who's ever done that. And this, rather than, go slow and do nothing, just 1, 2. And you can use it putting, you can use it chipping, irons, driver. And it's amazing, I teach, as you know, every day, and you get going, and all of a sudden you can see how their upper core just outraces what's going on, so much so that the club is behind them instead of the club being in front of them on the left, because the club's got to be on the left. You follow it to the left, and that's a good numbers that you can go. Now you get a guy like I can't forget his name. But anyway, at the end of his backswing, and I used to watch him play all the time, he beat Steve in the PGA Championship. African-American fellow, good player. Anyway, he's on a senior tour now. But his thing, at the end of his backswing, he said the word 17. So you can imagine, get up to the top of your swing, 17, and then he went forward. So that was his catch for doing the business of rhythm. But this 1, 2 thing is a real, because you get up here and somebody to say 17, which is different than what he was doing. 1, 2 kind of works pretty good.
How do you get rid of the first hole jitters? What should the average golfer do on that first tee?
Well, you got to breathe right. That's what the deal. Take a drink of water, whatever. But, breathing is a very huge key. Now, you watch a guy shoot free throws, dribble, 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 and they take a deep breath, right? They exhale. And you should go ahead, and when you do this, when you hit this shot or any shot, especially putting, you always putt on the exhale. One thing you want to do when you look at the ball, so you get some concentration, try to see all the dimples on the ball, putting, right?
Okay.
And then the other is putt on the exhale. So when you're going to do that, and you're going to do everything, line up toes parallel to your line, lines up your core. But before you're going to putt, you're going to exhale, and you putt on the exhale. You get all good basketball, long range distance, rifle shooters, stuff like that. It's always on the exhale. You get that running out so that this stuff runs out, so you're relaxed in your chest muscles and arm muscles.
Got 2 minutes left here on the show or so.
Wow.
In terms of shorter irons, theoretically, should be easier to hit, right? Why do people struggle hitting shorter irons, say close to the hole or whatever? What's going on?
Well, you get there's a tendency with the short clubs that you don't have the proper hand action. Now, if you take your grip and you take your club, and I tell you to cock the club, break it up, you would break it up, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I tell you to release the club, then you should break it down. So the business of coming to a lot of people don't get the club in a full release position, so it gets to the ground. So, the bottom of the club never hits the ground. It's the bottom of the club that it's the bounce that makes the ball go up. You must hit the bottom of the ground. So many people are trying to pick it and get it, to pick it up with their hands. And then, it doesn't work. So we got to use the bottom of the club. But that business with the short game, that's a number that I gave you, 1, 2.
Okay.
And just make sure that it takes that time. But the club has to go straight down. Once the club is in a full release position, your hands will never break forward. They'll always go down, and it'll go around. But so many times you get it, and they're trying to pick it to make it go high because of the loft. Hit the bottom of the ground.
And about a minute left. And one thing that I think every golfer should do is practice more with the short irons, correct?
Well, that's the business.
100 yards in or whatever.
Well, you can't sink a chip shot unless you miss the green. You know what I mean? You can't sink it out of the trap unless you hit it in a trap. But once you get in there, you got to be able to recover. That's more than 50% of the game.
So for Dave McCann, congratulations, Mr. McCann, on your marriage last Saturday.
Thank you.
For Kevin Ryan, Dennis Tiziani, I'm Paul Brown, and thank you for
See you.
listening and watching. And we're done with another edition of Talking Golf. We'll be back on a Monday night and do it all over again, but we're down to 3 shows, and then the season's over. That is Talking Golf for tonight on the Golf Effect Radio Network.
All right. Congrats, Dave.